No, not at all. And I mean, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I mean, it's just devastating. This is something you might expect out of Southern California, but
This is your neighborhood.
I mean, I'm from pretty close to here, just a few miles away, so it's really devastating. I mean,
Have you ever seen anything like this? Because just seeing things still burning leveled like this, what goes through your head?
Driving home last night, and it was so incredibly windy. Things were blowing everywhere, and it was crazy because I had just been at the beach earlier, and it was a beautiful, calm day. And so we were all commenting on how windy it was, and then this morning you just wake up and the stuff is still falling down behind us. I mean, the devastation's not over.
There were things that really shocked us the next morning looking at that. Where there was a vehicle upside down, 100 feet into Coffey Park.
And there was no other way out. This would have effectively been a roadblock. That's a car upside down.
Of course, and as we move to the middle, we noticed something that was kind of strange here. It's a boat. It's a boat and a car that's been flipped over. How did this happen? It's so hard to explain some of these things.
Nobody really knows how the big fire started. I lost my 62 Wildcat that I had since I was 19. My wife lost the 63 Fairway that I built her for her birthday. I think there's 9,000 cars that burned in that fire.
Be visible to people with eyes to see. Here's the neighborhood before. And I want you to look, you guys. There's absolutely nothing left. You don't see any part of any of the structures anywhere. This isn't possible. There's something else going on here. Look at this. And what the heck is this? What's going on here? How did this car all catch on fire? It's got no glass. It's all destroyed. And what is this being? Look at this. Look at this. The car looks like it's been run over. Now, what is this? What is burning here? What is burning here? This is the exact same thing we saw on September 11th. You guys, there's something very messed up here. With September 11th, one of the most suspicious variables was that there was nothing but dust. Dr. Judy Woods describes it, as she saw it, as being dustified. Things just disappeared. It looked like they caught on fire in some parts of the building, but you see this billowing grayish-white smoke. And if you guys look at the long-distance photos of these pictures, you're going to see that's exactly what we see, is the exact same kind of smoke. I'll do another video on that. I don't have those queued up right now. But here's the point. Look at this. What is burning here? What is burning here? Because you're going to see that there's twigs all over the place. There are twigs everywhere. The twigs didn't burn, but yet the entire building, there's nothing left of these houses? Come on. This is just very weird. This shouldn't be this way.
Buildings down. I mean, it just completely incinerated these buildings. How did it do this with the trees all surrounding this place? You're telling me the heat from this fire was so intense that it burned these things down to the structure. I mean, the structure is all the way burned down. All that's left is this corner right here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 trees directly surrounding the property, not to mention all these on the peripheral. And you're telling me that this was just a regular fire. There were some people that, and these are people that probably were inserted in because they know that truth is spread big time on YouTube. So I don't get thrown off by a couple people coming and inserting themselves, because I see it on a whole bunch of truth channels. So I would expect people actually looking for themselves and trying to decipher what is true to notice that. But I mean, I don't understand how anybody could say, I would really like, because I'm not a professional firefighter, but this doesn't seem logical to me. And there's a lot of people, and I don't see any firefighters that are coming out and saying that this is logical. In fact, I see the opposite. I do see some firefighters that saying this. There's a lot of anomalies in this fire.
Nuclear war zone. Never seen anything like that.
What other options could there be besides a high torch directed energy weapon that you could consider as a possibility in your experiences of all the firefighting you've done?
There's none that I could think of. There's none.
So this is the only plausible explanation that's being presented?
It's the only plausible explanation, in my opinion. That's the conclusion that I was brought to, based on my almost 30 years of experience.
And you know that steel melts in thousands of degrees and all this, and to see steel bent like that, but have vegetation and plant life and eucalyptus trees.
The holes that were burned through the hoods of cars all the way through the engine block are a little bit suspicious.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, July 31st, 2018. I'm John Knox in Los Angeles. Now, this picture has been taken off the internet. It's a suburban neighborhood believed to be near the Carr Fire, that's C-A-R-R, which is near Redding, California. Now, we're talking about fires, irregular, unpredictable, raging forces of nature, okay? Now, when the forest fire comes to a suburban development, we're going to take a look at how this particular forest fire, this force of nature, decided to burn when it got to the suburban development. Now let's drift the camera a little bit to the left. Now this forest fire, when it got to this suburban tract, decided that the houses were more important to burn than the trees. And we're going to drift down a little bit here, speaking of trees. Now, to the left of this group of trees or bushes, you see the shell of a burned out car. Now, the energy that it takes to blast all of the glass out of the car, to burn all the rubber tires off the car, that's pretty intense energy. So in that spot, there was an amazing amount of energy and heat being expended. And yet, the trees and the bushes off to the right of this particular car did not burn. Okay, that's strange. That's an anomaly, and that's been...
This shit is not the... Look at this fucking power line. This shit is not the... Look at this fucking power line. This shit is not the...